Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. This is Force with another Hearthstone deck spotlight. Today we'll be taking a look at the Deathrattle Priest. This list comes from DKMR of BlizzPro. This particular deck centers around the Deathrattle effect. We've got some early game Deathrattle minions like Zombie Chow and Dark Cultist, some mid-late game creatures such as Sludge Belcher and Cairne Bloodhoof, and then synergy with those Deathrattle minions through the early game Undertaker and the late game Kel'Thuzad. Let's go ahead and take a look at the deck in action. Alright, we are back into Hearthstone, taking a look at the deck spotlights. Not going to keep that Circle of Healing in my opening hand. Hand's not looking too bad though. We've got the Undertaker and the Zombie Chow, so it's going to allow us to go turn one Undertaker, followed up with the Zombie Chow. The biggest possible concern though, you can see we're facing a warrior here, is what if he plays a Fiery War Axe? If he coins into Fiery War Axe, blah. If he doesn't, well, it's either going to be the Zombie Chow or the Loot Hoarder. I might go with the Loot Hoarder just because it's on curve and it'll allow me to Zombie Chow and heal next turn. So let's go ahead and play the Loot Hoarder, hit for 2, pass the turn. So what I'm thinking here is we can now, next turn, play the Zombie Chow and then also potentially heal if we attack something with our Undertaker. Alright, so he's going to coin into some sort of a 3-drop. And it's an Acolyte of Pain. Well, that worked out just about as perfect as I could hope for. So now we can play the Zombie Chow, get the 3 attack on our Undertaker, kill his Acolyte of Pain so it only gets 1 card draw, and then we heal this dude up. Look at this board. We got a 3-4, we get the Zombie Chow, we got our 2-1. Just, yeah, I mean, I plan on him dying as soon as possible even just to get the card draw. But not too shabby indeed. Let's see what he's got now this turn for turn 3. Fiery War Axe. Looks like he got that with his Acolyte. That was the second card in his hand. So that stinks. He is going to gain a net of 3 life here. But we've pumped up our Undertaker. We've got the board control. We made it so that he only had 1 draw off of his Acolyte. That's okay. Oh, another Zombie Chow. Let's go ahead and play that. Yeah, pump up our dude to a 4-5 now. Hit him a bunch and then BM heal, I guess. Why not? I don't know. It's been so long since I've been super into Hearthstone. I'm feeling a little sassy. All right, so he's now I realize in playing that second Zombie Chow, he is just going to be able to kill it off. He's got the weapon in play, but that means he's not hitting my Undertaker if he does that. It still means it's only a net gain of 3, and he's using up his last durability. So there we go. He did that, gets the heal, but we still have a 4-5 and a 2-1 in play. We're going to be able to whittle through his shield block armor and get through to his health some more. And, ooh, powered shield. I think I'm actually going to play it on the Undertaker. Yeah, the only reason I'm not going with the Loot Hoarder, I realized I'm like overcommitting to this one creature, so it's a prime target for damage, execute, or whatever. The Loot Hoarder, he's gonna die anyways. He's a sacrificial lamb for the sake of card draw, so putting that on him just sort of feels bleh to me, to be honest with you. Although that did make him susceptible to Whirlwind, though. All right, so here's an Armorsmith and an Acolyte of Pain, both of which we can kill. Now, how do I want to do this? We just chew into a Auchenai Soulpriest. Now, we could play the Cairne here, which would be a 5-8. I'm going to turn our dude into a 5-8. Or we could go with the Soulpriest and go for a full board clear here. Yeah, let's do that. So I'm going to kill this, and then we're going to attack into that, see what we draw off of it, and then we're going to finish it off. So we're just trying to clear his board as much as possible. There's a Cabal Shadow Priest, alright. Alright. Alright, well, we've cleared his board now. We've got the 4-6 and the 3-5 in play. The only real concern here would be an Execute, but frankly, if he has Execute, he's going to be able to use it anyway. He's a warrior, he's got Cruel Taskmaster, he's got Whirlwind, he's got all sorts of ways to deal 1 damage to a creature. There is the Execute. So there goes our Undertaker. He's done a bit of work with board control this game, even though we haven't, I mean, he's at 25, 6, 7, 8 health technically. So it feels like we haven't done a lot, but it's been a pretty busy day. Let's go ahead and take his Armorsmith, hit him for 3. And now we've got the 4-5, the 3-5, and his Armorsmith on our side of the board. We've got the Kel'Thuzad that we could potentially play next turn. If he plays anything, we could... Okay, there's a Brawl, actually, so that's probably not going to happen. Let's see who we end up keeping here. Not the Soulpriest, not the Armor Smith. That means the Cabal Shadow Priest is ours. That's actually great. That or the Soulpriest would have been fine, but this is a nice beefy creature. And we can go ahead and play Cairne right now. The other option, though, is Dark Cultist and Injured Blademaster. Now, I'm trying to think, it's going to be a follow-up, potentially, of Kel'Thuzad next turn to throw into his creatures. So if we go with the Blademaster, let's go with the Blademaster and Cultist. This way we can do combos with the Cultist and get that life gain to Kel'Thuzad if we end up sacking him this turn. So what I'm thinking is if he plays a huge creature that I can throw my minions into, we're gonna get huge value out of Kel'Thuzad. At this point, I'm not really worried about board clear anymore, right? He's used his Brawl. Every Control Warrior deck I've seen for the longest time has only ever run one Brawl. So I'm not ultra concerned about more just mass board clear from him. Okay, there's a Cleave. That's actually perfect. Look at that. Look at who that hit. Now we can sack them and get them back from Kel'Thuzad at full health. So perfect. All right, so I think that's what we're going to do. Play Kel'Thuzad. Throw both of our 4/3s at his dude. And they're all both going to come back, and then we can clear. It's so funny. We can clear his 1/2, end the turn. Oh, there's no way he's a happy camper right now. So we get the 4/7 back and the 4/5. Because I'm not playing the Blademaster, he doesn't actually lose the life. He's resurrected, basically. It's when you play it from your hand where that effect is triggered. Same thing like when the Cabal Shadow Priest comes back. I'm not able to steal one of his minions if he has one on the board that could be stolen. That's not how it works. Alex straws it to the face. Brings me down to 15. Alright, so do I want to throw my creatures at it? Or do I want to Shadow Word Death it? Well, since he's playing Alex Straws in my face so aggressively with me having the board that I do and not focusing on remove my board, that tells me he's going to try to go for my face. So I'm actually going to do the damage to him instead of sacking my creatures. Obviously my creature will come back, but I want to get damage in his face. I'm not worried about him dealing 15 damage to me this turn. I think the most that I can think of is a Cruel Taskmaster Hellscream, but that's only 13. Or... yeah, 10, 12, excuse me. That's only 12. Is it 12 or 13? It's 12, isn't it? God, it's been so long. I need to get my head back in this game. All right, here's a Death's Bite and a Sludge Belcher. That's not it. He hits me in the face, and that's the game. We have, yeah. Perfect, 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 perfect. Oh, this was a fantastic example game, if I do say so myself. Let's just throw these away. Holy Nova, and hit him in the face, and then wrap things up with the Decklist. The Deathrattle Priest from Don't Kick My Robot, starting off with 2 Circle of Healings. We also have 2 of the Powered Shields. Very, very nice in conjunction with Northshire Cleric early on, allowing you to pick off some small health minions, heal up the Cleric, get a ton of card draw. Then we've got the Undertaker, a sort of a key component in the early game of this deck. A great hand would be something like Undertaker, Zombie Chow, Dark Cultist, or even Loot Hoarder, allowing you to pump up that Undertaker bigger and bigger, and then control the board and eventually swing for the face. The Zombie Chows by themselves, you know, it's just sort of an okay card, but synergized with the Undertaker, it gets a little bit better, and then synergized with the Auchenai Soulpriest, it gets a hell of a lot better because that 5 health turns into 5 damage. It's crazy. It is mighty, mighty crazy. 2 of the Loot Hoarder because of Deathrattle and card draw. I'm running 2 Shadow Word Death. You can make a few variations in terms of the numbers for things like Shadow Word Death, Cabal Shadow Priest, and even Holy Nova, depending on what you're coming up against. If you're dealing with a lot of big late game control, then you're going to want 2 of the Shadow Word Death. If you're dealing with a lot of early game, maybe consider running 2 Holy Novas, and again, have the 2 Cabal Shadow Priest. The original deck list also includes Defender of Argus, which I have omitted from this particular variation, but just all things to keep in mind. So yeah, 2 of the deaths because I was dealing with a lot of late game control, 2 Thoughtsteals, it's just a fun card to play with. with. We've got the Dark Cultist, how could you not? The card's amazing in any variation of a priest deck. The Injured Blademaster, because we are running 2 of the Circle of Healings, and this is more of a early mid style deck, it just fits right in. The Auchenai Soulpriest, again, board clear with Circle of Healing, and this turns your Zombie Chow from meh into really, really awesome. I've got a single Holy Nova. If you're dealing with a lot of early game aggro, probably run 2. 2 of the Sludge Belchers, 2 Cabal Shadow Priest for early game, stealing those small creatures. Not the card itself is an early game, but stealing those small creatures. A Cairne Bloodhoof, a Sylvanas Windrunner, and then lastly Kel'Thuzad. This thing, when it gets cranking, it is mighty hilarious. All right, guys, thanks so much for watching this deck spotlight of the Deathrattle Priest. Stay tuned. We're going to do a follow-up video showing off a few games. I'll see you guys later. Hope you have a fantastic afternoon. See you tomorrow. Keep watching and keep owning.